And then also with that authentication process, let's say someone buys a card and it ends up being altered. If the buyer still wants the altered card, is there a way they can still communicate to the seller? Or is that going to go all the way straight back to the seller no matter what on that side of things?
Yeah, that is one kind of tricky area because me as a pre-war guy, that I've bought altered and trim cards many times because I need that card or want that card, and I fully understand the situation and I pay accordingly. But the problem is, the way eBay looks at it, if it's significantly not as described, and if a card was altered and it's not in the description, then it would have to be returned to the seller. And again, the buyer may actually want that card if it's an altered state. So it's really up to the seller. The seller has to make that determination, say, this is an authentic card. However, it appears to be trimmed, or I know it's trimmed, or I think it's trimmed, or whatever the alteration may be. And we see that. We'll see those, they'll come through and the grader will see it and go, oh man, this is trimmed. And then we go and verify that with the listing says this, beware, this card is trimmed. Perfect. So it goes right through. So, honesty is always the best policy. So, for a seller, be honest about the card and sell it and describe it properly. And people are still going to buy it, as long as they know what it really is.
Yeah, that's the one part I was wondering because, I mean, like with Allen and Ginter, sometimes people would cut off the bottoms in the advertisement. And I know people would still want those cards. Obviously, they're a lesser price tag. And I didn't know if those would get 100% sent back, or if like a seller would say it, then someone buys it and it goes forward.
Yeah, that's a good example of that. I was trying to think of another off the top of my head. I saw a red man. Don't remember which year. I think it's either 52 or 53. But regardless, the tab was cut off.
Yeah.
And so in the auction, it was clearly shown the photo and the tab was off. So that was a case where, it is obvious in the photo that it has been removed, and that would pass through. And same with like the OJs, something that's very obvious, not really done to deceive. It's clear that, what we understand is like a lot of times it was the moms back in the day, the kids get the cigarette cards and they clip off the cigarette advertisement. So that's something, and Z-Nut's the same thing with their coupons. That's something that it should pass through unless there's something else going on with it.
And same stuff with like rebacking on those OJs as well.
For that would be considered an alteration, so that would have to be described in the auction. Otherwise, if we get an OJ that's skinned and it's not described as that as so in the auction, then we would return that.
Well, it's good that you guys are letting people know on that side of things.